Hey, I'm Melanie. I'm a mum sharing real food, real motherhood, and the simple ways I'm trying to support my energy, hormones, and family in this postpartum season. If you're into from scratch meals, gentle rhythms, and finding a flow as a mum, you're in the right place. Welcome to Mama Flow. Today I'm taking you through a full day of what I eat as a breastfeeding mum to support postpartum recovery, energy, and hormone balance. I'm all about simple, nourishing meals that keep my blood sugar stable and my energy up during these busy days. Let's get straight into it. I try to always start my day with a warm water, a pinch of kelp sea salt for natural minerals, and a dash of apple cider vinegar to support digestion and hydration first thing. Postpartum recovery really relies on minerals, especially if you're breastfeeding. This little ritual makes a big difference to my day. While I sip on my warm water, I make my son his breakfast, which is overnight oats and some collagen, and I like to put a capsule of beef liver in there as well. For breakfast, I'm having leftovers from last night. We had slow cooked beef brisket curry. My husband slow cooked a brisket for about 13 hours yesterday, and unfortunately I wasn't up to eating it yesterday, so I am very much looking forward to it today. Savoury protein rich breakfasts are amazing for blood sugar balance, especially postpartum when your body needs consistent fuel to heal and produce milk. Don't be afraid to eat dinner foods for breakfast. It's a hack that seriously changed my mornings. Not only is it super quick and easy, but I feel satiated for the rest of the day. Mid-morning, I usually have a decaf coffee with collagen and organic full cream milk. Collagen is amazing for your gut health and is an awesome boost of protein for postpartum. I am trying to make an effort to get outside as much as we possibly can. It's obviously getting harder as we are going into winter, but I've got this cute rain suit from Crywolf for Remy, which I pop him in and he can crawl around. It really doesn't matter. And I just think it's important that we're outside and getting some of that sunlight in our eyes, and it definitely puts us in a good mood. And I like to have a snack to keep me going. So in this case, I've had whole grain toast with butter, almond butter, and banana slices. Protein, healthy fats, and slow carbs are the perfect way of keeping my energy steady through to lunchtime. Bone broth is a postpartum superfood. It's packed with minerals, collagen, and amino acids that support healing and gut health. I try to make some weekly and literally just tip it into everything that I cook. I do like to have bone broth on its own if it's chicken. I'm not a huge fan of beef bone broth on its own. So this beef bone broth I will be using in all of the meals that I cook this week. You really can't taste it if it's mixed in with other things, but the health benefits are phenomenal. Tonight we're going to have lasagna for dinner. So most of today I'm spending making the lasagna with my littles around, and it's going to be homemade lasagna with a bone broth based meat sauce. Cooking from scratch sounds really intimidating, but batch cooking nourishing meals like this is one of the best ways I care for myself postpartum. It does help that I really enjoy cooking, but I do find it really stressful having a little around, especially if they're not in the mood. So I just try to break it up as best I can and give them other activities to occupy them or make them feel like they're part of it. Lunch is simple today, more leftovers. As a breastfeeding mum, leftovers are literally my best friend. They save time and ensure I'm still getting nutrient-dense meals even on busy days. What I'm doing at the moment is sauteing some onions, garlic, carrot, celery, and trying to sweat it out in some olive oil or avocado oil and a little bit of salt. And basically I like to make a big batch of this and then freeze it in silicone muffin tins, and then every time I'm making a dish that requires some depth of flavour, it's a bit of a cheat that I can pop one of these frozen muffin size portions in, and it automatically gives whatever sauce you're making, whether it be a soup or a lasagna, it gives it depth of flavour and tastes like it's been cooking forever, when actually I did put a bit of time into cooking that stuff down, but it was all happening in the background while I was making something else anyway. Now I'm browning off beef mince, and I'm going to add a few things to give it some flavour, but the sauce is really simple. It is seriously from scratch cooking at its best. Into the sauce, I'm going to add some onion powder, some garlic powder, a seasoning that I got from Costco's that is literally more onion and garlic, salt, pepper, and rosemary. I like to add dried oregano into my sauce. And then I've got 2 tins of tomato, and obviously I'm going to be adding in that bone broth that I've been making all morning. And in goes the mix of vegetables that I've cooked down, and that's going to add some depth to the sauce. For afternoon tea, I blend up a smoothie. Banana for potassium. Chia seeds for omegas and some fibre as well. Collagen for protein. Raw cacao for magnesium. I add overnight oats for extra fibre. And I'm using up some apples that had some gelatin in it and adding some of that bone broth that I made previously. A filling blood sugar balancing snack to power through the afternoon, and also delicious so that my little can enjoy it as well. I've only recently added in a vegetable garden at my place, and I'm super excited to see everything growing already. I thought this was the perfect opportunity to pick some fresh herbs. So I'm going to pick some basil to pop into the sauce. I do think fresh basil really lifts the sauce and makes it taste so delicious. Unfortunately, if you're not growing it, it's quite hard to have on hand. So I'm stoked that there's some in our backyard now. I do think it's simple tricks like this that make cooking from scratch really successful. Next, I'm making a white sauce for the lasagna. Very simple, making a roux out of butter and flour, and I always like to put a little bit of white pepper in, and then adding again that full cream organic milk and stirring until it's very smooth. And then I add some grated cheese in as well. That's a wrap on today's eats. I hope this gave you some inspiration for real nourishing postpartum meals. If you want more postpartum meal ideas and breastfeeding nutrition tips, make sure you subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up and check out my blog for even more at mamaflow.com. Thanks for being here. I hope this gave you some encouragement or a new idea to try. If you're navigating mum life and want more simple ways to nourish yourself and your family, make sure to subscribe and stick around. See you in the next one.